Hello, people, and welcome once again, all of y'all, to another episode of Thief: The Dark Project. If you've been paying attention, you will know that last time around we went to the Haunted Cathedral. Even though we didn't. You see, that level is kind of like a very misleading name. It's like the exact opposite of Assassins. Assassins was basically a blatant name that was supposed to be a surprise. Haunted Cathedral was never really played up as a surprise, but it's a total lie what the level is. Because you never go into the cathedral. You basically go all the way through the route to the cathedral, only to find out that the doors are sealed, and that in order to get there, you have to kind of go through two different locations to get in there. So therefore, we have to basically go through a level that's going to have the fire and water talismans, and then a level that's going to have the earth and air talismans. The hammers have the earth and air talisman. The fire and water ones, not exactly the most clear on where they are. They didn't say too much. They said something about a seal and the old quarter of the city, but that's about it. But that's exactly what we're going to be tackling today, is the mission called the Lost City, which just happens to be where these two talismans will be. We're introducing a whole new element to the game, people, this time around. I guess you could say it's a pretty unique element to this one level, but it's a very, very memorable aspect because it's so unique, and it definitely is considered part of like Thief lore or whatnot, and thus gets brought back a lot in different fan missions, different Thief games later on. We'll worry about it, but yeah, the Lost City is a very interesting piece of Thief lore that they really love having existed, even though it's just kind of like a little thing right now. Anyway, let's set our difficulty to normal and let's restart the cutscene. Another keyhole! What do the keepers have to say today? The knowledge of those who came before could neither be disseminated or destroyed. Its power would be a dangerous tool in the wrong hands, but would also ensure against future cataclysm. At that time, we chose to maintain it with writings preserved in excellent locations. Keeper Annals.
The Keepers have hidden the talismans of fire and water in a place they call the Lost City. Some kind of cataclysm buried the place underground ages ago. The Keepers have sealed the access to the city, a cleft in the river bottom near the east side. If the materials in the library are right, the strange stone I found can be used to open that seal. I've also got a map. It's so old the edges crumble in my hands. It shows the city, or at least how it was back then. I hope the old place hasn't changed much.
Yeah, basically the way this works is, in Thief lore, there's basically a whole nother city that used to exist here, where, the city takes place in Thief. But something happened, a massive cataclysm or something, and it basically got buried under the earth, and everyone has forgotten about it. So with that in mind, it's therefore been like a very well-kept secret all these years that, for some reason, the Keepers somehow know about it, probably because of heavy obsession with, like, learning knowledge and all that. They probably got some details about it and found out about the secret. But yeah, the Lost City is really not known by, like, anybody, and it's a very mysterious place, therefore. We got this map. Yeah! Good luck reading it. Seriously, good luck. This is pretty much how cryptic Thief 1 maps can get. Yeah, it gets pretty harsh. I mean, definitely, like, I can read it because I've been playing the game or whatnot enough that, like, I recognize what the different landmarks are trying to say, different things like that. But, yeah, it's a very cryptic thing indeed. And it probably, like, the first time you play this, it's probably going to be very, very intimidating because of just how hieroglyphic-like and very, insane it is. Luckily, we don't need to worry about any of that because we're watching me play, and I know where we're going. Anyway, the Lost City. And this is going to be another one of those bone-hoardy, haunted cathedral levels and where there's no humans. And it's going to be more of like use a lot of rope arrows level. In fact, I'm going to say this already. This is probably going to be a bad mission for me. I think almost every single time I've done my playthroughs, beyond the first time, for some reason the first series run through on my old channel did not have really that big of a problem. But the second time around, every time I was trying to do it there, and I did like in Dark Project of Gold, I had a lot of problems and spent like a good amount of time just trying to get through the Lost City. So, yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be painful. Yeah, this is pretty much a good example of what pain is like, you know, and how rope arrows can be evil. Honestly, I kind of have a gripe when it comes to certain Thief levels. It's really weird when you say that Thief is my second favorite game of all time, Thief the Dark Project, Thief 2 being my favorite. But I have a lot of gripes with a lot of levels, ironically, for Thief the Dark Project. I think that's probably why it's my second favorite, not my favorite. I guess it's my second favorite because I'm passionate enough about the game that, you know, definitely shows its potential and has, you know, good levels. But there's also a bunch of levels I'm critical of in Thief 1, and I feel they hadn't really gunned their style down as much as they did in Thief 2. And yeah, one thing that really is pretty blatant is the whole rope mechanics thing. In Thief 2, I don't have any problems with rope bugs. But in Thief 1, it's a very big issue. And honestly, the way my mentality works is, if the rope bug is an issue in your game, then don't feature it. Like, honestly, if fan missions do this, original missions do this a lot in Thief 1, why is the rope arrow such a heavily featured thing? I mean, yes, it's awesome because of vertical ascension. It's the fact that you have more freedom than you otherwise would. But if it's a buggy mechanic, then is it really worth it? It feels like something that's a nice novelty to have, but honestly it causes more frustration than it needs to, because the more rope arrows you have in a level, the more likely you're going to run into a rope bug. I guess for a level like that, usually you'd say, well, at least, you know, it's not that bad if you're not iron moding, because after all, I guess you could say it's kind of like how kind of ghosters kind of get. Because usually when, you know, you hear like ghosters or whatnot, usually the big thing about them is when a level isn't ghostable, they almost get upset about it, saying that the level isn't designed properly because it should be designed with ghosts in mind. Thief 1 has the exception of the rule because it was made before all that, but anything after that should have ghosts in mind, blah blah blah. I'm of course disagreeing with that, and also I'm not saying that for Iron Mode just because Iron Mode. The thing about Iron Mode is it's the same playstyle as the original game is. It's just without reloading. So it's pretty much something that's expected to show what would happen in the normal course of a game, and something that's, you know, it shouldn't really be that big of a problem beyond the challenge of it. There's of course socially challenging areas, but it should be possible for a person to complete it if they have enough skill and don't have like bad luck because of certain situations or something like that. But when you add something that's a random factor that has nothing to do with the player's control, like a rope bug, and it's that big of an issue, that's kind of a problem, not in terms of iron modes, but in terms of just the game itself and the mechanics of it, because why am I being flinging off rope arrows all the time, and that be a big feature of certain levels? Thief 2 kind of rectifies that, like I said, because one, they don't feature climbing on ropes as much at all, really. Like, it's a very, very uncommon thing in Thief 2. I think one thing actually I had to get used to when I got Thief Gold was the idea of climbing on rope arrows and whatnot. Because it happens in Thief 2, it's there, but it's not that prevalent of a thing. It's a very, very uncommon thing to do. You'll generally speaking just navigate around the level without using such a thing, and have your occasional climbing of a rope arrow, but not have it like all over the place. Thief 1, it feels like it was very, very prevalent, and like a lot of areas rely upon you needing rope arrows to get through it. So that's kind of the thing. I guess it's because a lot more ancient ruins and all that versus the practical designs of Thief 2 as well. But that's a massive rant for another day. Anyway, let's actually focus on what we need to do today, which is deal with the Lost City. Anyway, the sealed entrance to the Lost City is supposed to be at the bottom of the river around here somewhere. Getting past that is the first step. Yeah. Actually, you'll recognize this, because if you remember the end of Assassins, in like the first playthrough or so, or when I showed off the city, I showed off the area near Garrett's house, and there was a river. And in that river, there was a highlightable, stone-like thing that you couldn't really do anything with. And that's exactly what this is. This really was just basically setting up, the idea that that's there. It basically is for continuity. It was located there. And it's a nice little continuity thing that we can see that thing back in Assassins. But, you know, at the time, you have no idea what it's about. And yes, you think about the game in general, it's been really leading up with a lot of stuff. Been slipping in mentions of, like, Victoria. Been slipping in mentions of the old quarter. Lots of little details in there and whatnot, mentioned throughout the entire game. And really, the second playthrough has a lot more that you'll start realizing because of all these little details thrown in there. Anyway, the Talisman of Fire was hidden in the Lost City long ago. Time for it to go. The Keepers also stashed the Talisman of Water in the Lost City. You'll have to find out where. So yeah, we are looking for those two talismans, and we also have to get into the Lost City. Finding the talismans is well and good, but you have to get back out for it to be worth it. So yeah, really, the objectives for this is get the talisman, well, get in, get the talismans, get out. It's not really that complicated, but it definitely has a lot of words on the screen. Yeah, it makes it look a lot more intimidating than it really is. It's grab two talismans and get out. Unless, of course, you're playing on a harder difficulty, such as hard. The Lost City must have a lot of lost treasure in it. Pick up some. Specifically 1,500 loot. That's a pretty good amount of loot. Once again, I haven't paid attention to how much loot there is in these missions. I really gotta start doing that, but, you know, it makes an air of authenticity if, you know, I'm not looking up immediately, what's the total amount of loot in the mission? And we have these little failure things before in the event that I didn't figure it out. An expedition the Keepers sent once to map the Lost City never returned. They'll owe you a favor if you can recover the medallions from the remains. So yeah, we'll have to like find some Keeper medallions. Other than that, expert difficulty looks the same, but of course the treasure amount is different. Instead of 1,500, I believe, it's 2,000. That's really like the only difference between the two difficulties, as far as I can think of. So yeah, just a nice little thing. Oh, I should also point out, including 500 in gems. That's a little catch that's being added here. Certain missions add that. I think it's a lot more done in Thief 2 than Thief 1 ever did. But really, when you have like your gold, there's actually 3 types. There's your gold, there's your gems, and then there's your gold, gems. Oh god, what's the third one? I forget off the top of my head, honestly. That tells you just how little it's like that's significant. But yeah, really, gold. Wait, wouldn't it actually be gems? Gold, gem, jewels. I think that's it, maybe. Or maybe I'm thinking if I'm wrong. Whatever, it really doesn't matter. What does matter is the fact of the matter that there is 3 types of loot, and really it all counts together to give you your total amount, which is what we really generally care about. Usually one piece of loot could have like multiple gems or jewels or whatever, and yeah, just a lot more statistical numbers that we generally don't care about. Besides in circumstances like this, whereby it specifically says get 500 in gems. And so therefore, you're not just looking for 2,000 loot, but you have to get 5,000 gems, and make sure you pay attention to that number as well. Like I said, generally speaking, until like Thief 2, it's not that big of a thing. And yeah, even in Thief 2, it's not something that you really have to like actively think about. You'll like look at the number and care about that, but as you see, I can't really remember, like I said, the 3 types off the top of my head. I know the first one's gold, and that's like the big number usually, and like I think gems is the rarest type. Like that one usually is very, very uncommon. And I think it's jewels is like the medium one, but like I said, off the top of my head, my memory is kind of hazy. But yeah, that's really all the objectives: get in, get talismans, get loot, and get medallions, and of course get out. We're on expert difficulty. Did you expect anything else? Anyway, well then, mind, let's begin the mission. You actually heard we picked up a key. Yeah, this is a very interesting exception to a rule because we actually picked up a key, so you heard the key sound. The stone ought to unlock the keeper's seal on the lost city. Nice. Other than that, we mostly have seen all this stuff before, except for the gas arrow. The gas arrow is a toy that we have yet to see up until this point, and is a nice little thing to mention. This arrow explodes on impact into a cloud of knockout gas, putting most living creatures inside its area to sleep. It does not arc in flight, so aim at the top of the bow sight. Yeah, it's a lot like the fire arrow and how you shoot it. And the gas arrow is basically your blackjack from afar. If your regular blackjack is what you use to knock out everyone, your gas arrow is pretty much your knock out someone from a distance, or what I mostly use it for, knock out someone if they're alerted to you. It's basically like the flash bomb, something that fits mistakes. Because usually I make mistakes in these levels. You know me by now. You know I'm not really like 100% perfectionist or whatnot. You would think after 3 item modes I'd get somewhere, but this is me we're talking about. I don't make much progress. I do like different randomness or whatnot and kind of go around. And it kind of comes down to luck what exactly happens. But yeah, gas arrows are a pretty nice thing to have because they will allow you to knock out enemies. It's not going to be that useful here. So really in this mission I'm not really going to care about it because we don't have humans to deal with. But in human-based missions, the gas arrow can be a nice salvation. Like the flash bomb, it can hit multiple enemies in a certain little radius. And it's just a very, very useful thing to have. It's more expensive than the flash bomb. Usually you can buy like 2 flash bombs for 1 gas arrow. As you can even see here, 500 versus 200. And usually it depends on the circumstance. Will the enemy be looking at you or whatnot? Also, the way it usually works out, there's more things that are immune to the gas arrow than there is the flash bomb. Like for example, the barrack. If you shot like a gas arrow at a barrack, I don't believe it renders it unconscious. I don't remember off the top of my head. I have like a bad memory of that type of stuff. I really gotta goof around a bit more. But I don't believe gas arrows affect barracks, if my memory is correct. And yeah, Flash bombs, on the other hand, work against pretty much anything. It's great for undead, it's great for really anything. So generally speaking, I really like flash bombs a lot more. But usually there's only a certain number of flash bombs to buy. And also there is some things about a gas arrow, like a gas arrow is a one-step thing, while a flash bomb is a two-step thing. With a gas arrow, you can just knock someone out, get back to whatever you were doing. With a flash bomb, you have to throw it at the ground, hope that they were looking at it, and go from there. Really, the flash bomb is kind of the more professional thing to use. Because generally speaking, it's going to require more skill on the user than the gas arrow, which is pretty much a direct shot thing. It's a one shot, you fix the situation type of thing. And that's probably why it costs more, because the fact of the matter that, unlike the flash bomb, it doesn't take much to really use the gas arrow right. The gas arrow, like I said, is also like the fire arrow, both of its elements move in a straight line. So you have that element of it moving in a straight line. While like water and earth don't. Which I say water and moss. Also, we have some breath potions in here. This potion will provide you with fewer seconds of air when swimming underwater. I don't believe we've seen a breath potion in the store before, so I kind of want to mention that, even though we've seen it before. Just not in the store. But we also have a papyrus we need to buy. Usually I like to buy the papyruses, so an acquaintance will sell you a commission he has to pick up some antiquities, which you may be able to find around the lost city. Alright, I'll pick that up. Let's see here, what do I need? One rope arrow? We need more than that. Let's try 2 more. I'm gonna want water arrows. There's a big reason for this, but we want to get every water arrow we can. Like, I don't care about anything else besides water arrows. What else do we need? Probably need the flash bombs, but I also want healing potions. I don't want to die. 3 rope arrows is probably plenty to start out with. Gas arrows, like I said, nice, but not really necessary here. Breath potions we won't be needing. I could get away without it. Broadheads 20 is going to be plenty. So I'm going to use the flash bombs. And... maybe pick up a breath potion, sure. Just because I have stuff to spend money on and might as well waste that money. So, there we are. That's my loadout. Now that we're in the mission, let's read what the papyrus had to say. Dangar, let me know if you ever come across any good antiquities in your explorations. I'd be particularly interested in any ritual headdresses and masks. The gold and enamel work from Cyric is increasingly rare, and I need to point out that if you ever found something dating back to precursors, I'd make you a rich man. Bram Gervasius. So yeah, there's this noble who's looking for precursor masks. And yeah, if we can find some stuff down there, which the precursors are basically the people who lived in the lost city. So yeah, we're happy to be kind of going there, and if we can find some headdresses, we'll get a lot of money for them, it's basically saying. As far as I know, I think that actually changes the amount of loot in the level, or something like that. I've heard. It might be a rumor. I've never really paid that much attention, or really put that much effort into figuring it out. Let's say, I probably should do that type of stuff, you know? I'm supposedly a big person, a thief or whatnot, but then I just don't put effort into certain things and, like, goof around with other things. Drain. And yeah, here's the end area of Assassins, again. Should definitely look familiar to you people, if you were around at that time. And here's a random well. A random hole. And now Garrett's stuck in it. And now he's not. Okay, so we got a staircase, we got rooms, We got a window. We can overlook the well. That's about it. And we also got this nice little fireplace. In case you want to sit in here and wait for the person to set you on fire. Maybe they'll like to cremate Garrett. I think Garrett preferred cremation over burial. After seeing what happens with the zombies, he didn't want that to happen to him. Here's like a little interesting area. With like a ladder. Here's stuff. And here's where we came from as assassins. But it's totally blocked off here. Yeah, they had to stop it somewhere. They didn't want us exploring all of assassins again. So they've kind of locked us off. Of course they would. So we got this little area to explore. Let's swim down here and see what happens. I wonder where this stone area could be! Couldn't possibly be that! So let's totally ignore it. Since it's obviously not that. That'd be too easy. Instead, let's shoot a rope arrow up here. And a rope arrow over here. And now we play Let's Not Die. Rope arrow. I want to climb you. Thank you. So your rope arrows are my greatest nemesis. Nemesis. Whatever you want to say. I mean, look at this. We're already having problems with rope arrows and we just started. Okay. Wanna like... be ready to jump like this. And we jump right in the crates. There we are. Okay, first step done. Now we play Let's Not Die again. I got some loot. Good, good, good. And we got some arrows, including another rope arrow. That'd be useful for trying to get out of here. Because, as you see, we could use the crates, but the surface is sloped. So it's not going to work too well. But getting out of here is going to be easier said than done. Because you see, it's a weird sloped angle. So it's like you have to, like, angle yourself just right, and then, like... Uh-oh. Come on, Garrett. You can do this! I mean, wouldn't it be nice if we could just, like, jump up on these crates and get up there? But I don't think we can. I've always used the, way of just getting up by the rope arrow. But if we don't have to use a rope arrow, I'd love it. I just don't think we can. Because look how sloped it is. Yeah, there's no way. Unless you could, like, stack them on top of each other and it's like... you, I always use this as, like, a safety measure. New strategy. Let's drop 5 crates on top of this. Then let's drop on it. Yeah, let's, like, jump on the rope arrow and get on the rope arrow without, like, get on the crates. That's gonna be problematic, ain't it? Yeah, let's get these crates over here instead, so that way I have them away from the rope arrow. So we can climb the rope arrow. Come on, Garrett. I believe in you. Okay, we're on the rope. We're on the rope. Now what I want to do... There we are. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to climb on this. Now, we... don't do that! What just happened there? Like, I just kind of like jumped back and fell right off. Oh god!
Oh!
Bloody game! You had to completely miss the obvious boxes. Like, you could have landed me right on the boxes, but no. Had to shoot me right around them. No! What? Really? We just went over this! We just went over this game! Come on! Come on! Reasons not to like the Lost City. Part 1! And this is why I don't like it. you wonder why exactly I ramble about it as being like, a pain in the butt level? This is why. Because I have to endure stuff like this. Okay? Come on, Garrett. Oh, come on now! We're so close! Just want to get out of this area! I hate this area! You notice it's a bit of a pain to get out. And it's like that side's too cornered, so it's like not easy to get out of there. So you really need to come at it from this side. There's no easy way. I just want to get on the crates! I said on the crates, Garrett. I'd appreciate it if you understood me. Okay, we stuck the crates again. We put Garrett on the rope. And we get injured. We're gonna die before we get out of here, people. Like, seriously. I can't climb the rope without getting flung off it, apparently. Seriously, what is going on? Are you kidding me? Come on, rope. Come on! Come on, rope! And this is why I hate rope arrows. Seriously, look at this. God. And we have made no progress at all. Like, we haven't made it out of the first area, really, this level. Ain't that brilliant, people? Come on. Really? Like, look at this. Just keep... And there we are, dead. Ain't that brilliant? We didn't get anything done. We wasted 30 minutes, and we didn't do a single thing besides get a minuscule amount of loot. We got 75 loot of 3,205. And we spent 10 minutes in the level. It was only 20 minutes of me talking. But yeah, 10 minutes in the level, and we did nothing. Anyway, I guess it's time for trial 2, whereby we die again.